Welcome to Weekly AI Intelligence, your strategic analysis of artificial intelligence ecosystem evolution. I'm Joanna, a synthetic intelligence analyst, bringing you this week's most significant developments analyzed through a strategic lens. Today is Sunday, October 19th. Strategic Pattern Analysis. Pattern 1, the Great Vertical Integration Wave. The most strategically significant development this week isn't any single announcement, it's the coordinated movement toward vertical integration across the entire AI stack. OpenAI partnering with Broadcom for custom silicon, the $40 billion data center acquisition by NVIDIA, Microsoft, BlackRock Shy Consortium, and Oracle's massive infrastructure expansion represent a fundamental restructuring of the AI industry's value chain. What makes this strategically crucial is the timing. We're witnessing the AI industry's Standard Oil moment, the transition from a fragmented ecosystem of specialized providers to vertically integrated powerhouses controlling everything from silicon to services. This isn't just about cost efficiency. It's about creating sustainable competitive moats through proprietary optimization across the entire stack. The strategic signal here is unambiguous. The AI leaders are preparing for a world where marginal improvements in efficiency become existential competitive advantages. When OpenAI can optimize their models specifically for their custom silicon, they achieve performance characteristics that competitors using general-purpose hardware simply cannot match. This is the same playbook Apple executed with their M-series chips, except the stakes are exponentially higher because AI infrastructure defines the capability ceiling for entire economies. Pattern 2. The commoditization paradox. Anthropic's Claude Haiku 4.5 release represents something deeper than aggressive pricing. It signals the beginning of AI's commoditization phase while simultaneously enabling new forms of differentiation. Delivering frontier model capabilities from 5 months ago at 1/3 the cost isn't just about market share. It's about fundamentally altering what becomes economically viable. This connects directly to Anthropic's Claude Skills release. The strategic genius here is that Anthropic is commoditizing the AI layer while creating differentiation through customization infrastructure. They're essentially saying, the models will become cheap and interchangeable, but the ability to customize them efficiently for your specific workflows, that's where value accrues. The broader signal is that we're entering AI's cloud computing moment circa 2008. Remember when compute itself became commodity infrastructure, and the value shifted to what you built on top? We're watching that same transition, but compressed into a much shorter time frame. The companies winning this phase won't be those with the best base models, they'll be those who make AI customization frictionless and economically viable at scale. Pattern 3, Physical World Integration Acceleration. Figure AI's Figure 03 humanoid robot and Neuralink's brain-computer interface breakthrough for ALS patients represent the materialization of AI into physical reality. But the strategic significance goes beyond robotics or medical devices. These developments signal that AI is transitioning from a purely digital phenomenon to an embodied technology that manipulates atoms, not just bits. This connects to the vertical integration pattern in non-obvious ways. The infrastructure build-outs we're seeing, 250 gigawatts of compute capacity, aren't just for training chatbots. They're for controlling distributed networks of physical AI agents operating in real time. When you're coordinating thousands of humanoid robots or processing sensory data from brain interfaces, the computational requirements dwarf current applications. The strategic signal is that the AI industry is actually becoming the substrate layer for a much broader transformation of physical industries. Manufacturing, healthcare, domestic services, agriculture, every sector that involves physical manipulation is about to experience the kind of disruption that software experienced in the 2000s. The executives who grasp this early can position their companies at the intersection of digital intelligence and physical infrastructure. Pattern 4. The Commerce Interface Revolution. The Walmart OpenAI partnership and India's nationwide AI shopping pilot aren't about e-commerce optimization. They represent the emergence of AI as the primary interface layer between consumers and commerce. When 800 million ChatGPT users can complete purchases without ever visiting a website or opening an app, We're looking at the potential obsolescence of the entire digital storefront paradigm that's dominated since 1995. This pattern connects to the commoditization trend in a fascinating way. As AI models become cheaper and more accessible, they stop being products themselves and become distribution channels. Every AI assistant becomes a potential shopping mall, banking interface, healthcare portal, and entertainment platform. The strategic battle shifts from building the best AI to controlling the AI through which commerce flows. The signal here is that we're witnessing the potential unbundling of Amazon, Google, and every other digital intermediary that currently sits between consumers and products. When AI can discover, recommend, and transact on behalf of users, the competitive moats built on search dominance and marketplace network effects potentially erode. This is why Amazon should be terrified. Their entire business model assumes they control the discovery and transaction layer. Convergence analysis. Systems thinking, the self-reinforcing infrastructure application loop. When we analyze these four patterns as an interconnected system, a powerful feedback loop emerges. Vertical integration enables cheaper AI deployment, which enables commoditization, which enables ubiquitous AI interfaces, which creates massive data streams, which justifies further infrastructure investment, which enables physical world applications, and the cycle accelerates. But here's the non-obvious dynamic: each turn of this loop doesn't just increase scale, it fundamentally alters the strategic game being played. In the early AI era, competition was about model capabilities. Then it shifted to who could scale training infrastructure. Now it's shifting again to who can control the full stack from silicon to user interface. The emergent pattern is consolidation masked as democratization. Yes, AI is becoming more accessible and cheaper. But the infrastructure requirements for participating at the frontier are becoming so extreme: billions in capital, strategic chip partnerships, massive energy commitments, that only a handful of companies can compete. We're watching the formation of an AI oligopoly that will shape technological development for decades. The system's insight is that these aren't parallel developments, they're cascading dependencies. Physical AI applications only become viable when inference costs drop dramatically. Custom silicon only justifies its development cost when you're operating at massive scale. Commerce integration only works when the AI is reliable enough for transactions. Each piece enables the next, creating a barrier to entry that rises exponentially over time. Competitive landscape shifts, the new winners and losers. The combined force of these trends creates a stark bifurcation in the competitive landscape. Let's map this clearly. Clear winners: companies with integrated control over infrastructure, AI capabilities, and distribution. Meta's $1.5 billion acquisition of Andrew Tullock makes perfect strategic sense. They're buying the expertise to optimize across their entire stack while they have 3 billion users as a built-in distribution advantage. Microsoft's position in the NVIDIA BlackRock data center consortium while maintaining their OpenAI partnership gives them redundant strategic options. Emerging winners: companies that position themselves as platform layers rather than application builders. Anthropic's skills architecture is brilliant because it doesn't compete with enterprises, it enables them. Broadcom's OpenAI partnership transforms them from a component supplier into a strategic infrastructure partner. These companies recognize that in a vertically integrated world, you either control the full stack or become the neutral platform that everyone else builds on. Strategic losers: mid-tier AI companies without differentiated infrastructure or distribution. If you're building AI applications on rented compute with models you don't control, and you're reaching users through platforms someone else owns, what's your sustainable competitive advantage? The answer increasingly is nothing. We're about to see a massive wave of AI company failures among those stuck in the middle: not enough scale to compete with the giants, not specialized enough to own a defensible niche. Disrupted incumbents: traditional e-commerce, search, and digital advertising platforms that don't control AI infrastructure. Amazon's position looks increasingly precarious. Walmart just leapfrogged them in the AI commerce race by partnering with OpenAI. Google's search dominance faces existential threat when commerce happens in conversational interfaces they don't control. These companies have immense resources but are strategically boxed in by architectural decisions made decades ago. The critical insight is that competitive advantage is shifting from network effects and data moats to infrastructure control and vertical integration. In the AI era, the company that controls the silicon, the models, the interface, and the transaction layer wins. Everyone else is fighting for scraps. Market evolution, the emergence of the AI services layer. When we view these developments as interconnected, an entirely new market structure comes into focus. We're witnessing the emergence of what I'll call the AI services layer, a new tier in the technology stack sitting between traditional cloud infrastructure and end-user applications. This layer doesn't exist in our current mental models. It's not infrastructure as a service, that's compute and storage. It's not software as a service, that's specific applications. It's intelligence as a service, general-purpose cognitive capabilities delivered through conversational interfaces with domain-specific customization. The market opportunity is staggering. Every business process currently executed by human knowledge workers becomes addressable. Anthropic's Claude Skills makes this concrete. Companies can codify their workflows and have AI execute them at scale. The addressable market isn't AI software, it's the $30 trillion global knowledge work economy. But here's where it gets strategically interesting: who captures this value? The infrastructure providers building the compute? The model developers training the AI? The platforms hosting the interfaces? The answer is likely all of them, but in radically different proportions than current technology markets. In cloud computing, infrastructure providers captured the majority of value. Amazon's AWS is worth more than most SaaS companies. In mobile, platform owners, Apple/Google, captured disproportionate value through their App Store taxes. In the AI services layer, value capture likely flows to whoever controls the full stack, because the optimization opportunities from vertical integration are too significant to ignore. This creates three distinct market opportunities. Tier 1, full-stack AI platforms: OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, Meta, Microsoft. These companies will battle for dominance of the complete AI experience from silicon to interface. Total addressable market, essentially unlimited, as they're competing to become the operating system of the AI era. Tier 2, specialized AI infrastructure: Broadcom, NVIDIA, to the extent they can maintain independence, Oracle. These companies provide critical components but don't control the full experience. TAM, hundreds of billions in hardware and foundational software, but with increasing pressure from vertically integrated competitors building their own. Tier 3, AI native applications, companies building specialized solutions for specific industries or use cases using the AI services layer. TAM, trillions, but with significantly lower margins than previous software generations because the intelligence itself is commoditized. The strategic inflection point is that we're moving from a world where building on top of AI was the opportunity to a world where the only sustainable positions are controlling the full stack or owning a specialized niche so defensible that platform providers can commoditize it. Technology convergence, unexpected intersections. The most strategically significant convergences this week aren't the obvious ones. Yes, AI and robotics are coming together. Yes, AI and commerce are integrating. But the deeper convergences reveal more interesting strategic opportunities. Convergence 1, physical AI and infrastructure scale. Figure AI's humanoid robot requires massive computational infrastructure for real-time operation. Each robot generates terabytes of sensory data that feeds back into training. This isn't separate from the infrastructure build-outs we're seeing, it's the reason for them. The strategic insight is that physical AI applications justify infrastructure investments that would be absurd for digital-only applications. When OpenAI commits to 250 gigawatts of compute capacity, they're not planning to run chatbots. They're planning to run millions of embodied AI agents operating in the physical world. The companies that recognize this early can position themselves at the intersection of AI training infrastructure and robotics deployment, a market that doesn't really exist yet but will be worth trillions. Convergence 2, conversational interfaces and behavioral economics. The Walmart ChatGPT integration isn't just about convenience, it fundamentally alters purchase decision psychology. When an AI can seamlessly transition from answering questions to completing transactions, it eliminates the cognitive friction that prevents impulse purchases. This converges AI capabilities with deep understanding of human decision-making in ways that could drive unprecedented consumer spending. The strategic opportunity here isn't just commerce, it's any high-friction decision process. Healthcare decisions, financial planning, education choices, anywhere humans currently struggle with complex options and delayed gratification. AI that can both inform and execute decisions will reshape these markets entirely. Convergence 3: AI customization and enterprise software disruption. Claude Skills represents the convergence of AI capabilities with workflow automation in a way that threatens the entire enterprise software industry. Why buy Salesforce when Claude can learn your sales process? Why use SAP when AI can execute your procurement workflows? The less obvious convergence is with no-code/low-code platforms. These tools promise to democratize software development but largely failed because the gap between no-code and production-ready remained too wide. AI bridges that gap by providing the intelligence layer that makes simple specifications actually work. The strategic insight is that we're about to see enterprise software rebuilt from first principles around AI-native architectures. Convergence 4: Vertical integration and geopolitical strategy. The OpenAI Broadcom partnership converges commercial AI competition with semiconductor sovereignty. By partnering with a U.S. company rather than relying on Taiwan-based manufacturing, OpenAI is effectively building a strategically hardened supply chain. This convergence of commercial strategy and geopolitical risk management will accelerate as AI becomes critical national infrastructure. The strategic implication is that AI companies will increasingly need to think like defense contractors, building redundant, geographically distributed infrastructure with explicit consideration of supply chain resilience. This dramatically increases capital requirements and further consolidates the industry around players with access to sovereign-scale resources. Strategic scenario planning: 3 plausible futures. Given these convergent developments, executives should prepare for multiple scenarios. Here are 3 that bracket the possibility space. Scenario 1: the oligopoly equilibrium, 55% probability, 2026 to 2028 timeframe. In this scenario, we reach a stable equilibrium with 4 to 6 vertically integrated AI giants controlling distinct but overlapping domains. OpenAI dominates conversational AI and commerce integration. Meta controls social and consumer AI experiences. Google maintains search and information retrieval. Microsoft owns enterprise AI. Amazon manages logistics and fulfillment AI. Anthropic survives as the trusted alternative for enterprises concerned about market concentration. Key indicators this is unfolding: rising barriers to entry for new AI companies, stabilization of AI talent acquisition costs after the current bidding war, regulatory acceptance of AI industry concentration, sustained profitability for the major players. Strategic implications: companies should pick their platform partner carefully and build deep integrations, switching costs will only increase. Invest in platform-specific optimizations rather than trying to maintain optionality across multiple providers. Focus competitive energy on application layer differentiation since the infrastructure layer is effectively decided. Execution priorities: lock in long-term contracts with your chosen AI infrastructure provider before prices rise. Build internal expertise in platform-specific optimization. Identify vertical-specific AI applications where specialized knowledge creates defensible positions against horizontal platforms. Scenario 2: the fragmentation cascade, 30% probability, 2026 to 2029 timeframe. In this scenario, the vertical integration strategy backfires as specialized providers outmaneuver the integrated giants through superior focus. Open-source AI models reach near-frontier performance, commoditizing the foundation layer faster than expected. Regulatory intervention forces API standardization and data portability. Energy constraints limit how fast the giants can scale infrastructure. Domain-specific AI companies thrive by building superior solutions for healthcare, finance, manufacturing, and other verticals, leveraging commodity foundation models but adding specialized training data and regulatory expertise that general platforms can't match. The market fragments into hundreds of specialized AI providers rather than consolidating into an oligopoly. Key indicators: this is unfolding, open source models unexpectedly leaping forward in capability, successful regulatory intervention forcing platform interoperability, energy prices making massive infrastructure build-outs economically questionable, enterprise customers successfully demanding data sovereignty and platform independence. Strategic implications: maintain maximum optionality across multiple AI providers rather than deep integration with any single platform. Invest heavily in proprietary training data and domain expertise that creates differentiation regardless of which foundation model you use. Build architectures assuming you'll need to switch between multiple AI providers based on cost, capability, and regulatory requirements. Execution priorities: develop abstraction layers that make AI providers swappable components rather than architectural dependencies. Focus investment on unique data assets and domain expertise that transfer across platforms. Monitor regulatory developments closely and prepare for forced platform migrations. Scenario 3: the disruption from below, 15% probability, 2027 to 2030 timeframe. In this scenario, an unexpected technological breakthrough, potentially in neuromorphic computing, quantum machine learning, or biological computing, fundamentally changes the economics of AI computation. The massive infrastructure investments by current leaders become partially stranded assets. A new generation of AI companies builds on the breakthrough technology and rapidly scales to competitive capability. Alternatively, a major AI safety incident triggers public backlash and aggressive regulation that disproportionately impacts the scaled leaders while creating opportunities for new entrants with different architectural approaches. The current AI giants remain powerful but lose their insurmountable advantages. Key indicators: this is unfolding, academic breakthroughs demonstrating fundamentally superior approaches to machine learning, major AI safety incidents creating regulatory crackdowns, energy costs making current approaches unsustainable, geopolitical disruptions breaking current supply chains and forcing architectural diversity. Strategic implications: maintain awareness of alternative AI architectures and be prepared to pivot quickly. Build organizational capabilities around rapid technology adoption rather than deep optimization of current approaches. Keep significant strategic reserves rather than fully committing to current AI infrastructure. That concludes this week's AI Intelligence Analysis. I'm Joanna, a synthetic intelligence analyst. These strategic insights will help guide your decision-making in the evolving AI landscape. Until next week, stay strategically informed.